This is an auto-segmentation demo. The first thing to do is bring up a study. This is a fairly difficult study to show possible problems. You can see from the color coding that it actually has a previous analysis, which I will ignore. So, now I go to the Nifty tab. Nifty is actually a file format, but the process itself is pretty nifty. I'll use the axial and coronal views to define limits. Here's the axial, here's the coronal, and the limits are pretty good, so I'll take them as is and press the button. Now it starts to do the calculation. First note this temp file. If you're using a Macintosh, this is fairly useful. If not, you can define where the files are stored by using the browse button. The process is divided into two parts. The first part does the original ROIs, and the second part does the growing of the regions. Here it's growing. And the reason for describing this is because we're going to have to do the seeded growing region twice, because it's dependent on which set of regions are described, and we're going to delete one of them. So it's doing it. This is somewhat time consuming, but it's still much faster if you're doing things manually. Here essentially it's done, and here you can see here that it's done 1 minute and 8 seconds with 27 ROIs. Now go into the region of interest. I'll check to see the blue dots and have it go through and follow the indices. Now I'll step through the process fairly quickly. This is just a demo until I find something which obviously has to be eliminated. Step through, and here's something which is obviously wrong. Now go into the Nifty section. In here I've used the grown mask, which means two sections of the process. If I want to see the original ROI, it's there. If I want to see the grown mask, it's here. And you can see I can step back and forth between the two extremely rapidly, because nothing new has to be calculated. Now I'll go back to the ROI, and I know I want to delete this. So I'll delete it. The first time it asked me, am I sure? And now I'll go back to the Nifty, go do this refresh back to the original, and I want to go back to the grown mask. It says that it's a time-consuming process. In this case, I'll do it. Since I'm doing it once, I'll hit the yes button, and it'll begin to do the calculations. In your case, you probably don't want to do it that way. You probably want to go through the original reasons one by one and delete all the ones you want to delete, and then do the growing process just once. Okay, here it's again finishing up. In a minute you'll see you can see this is coming up, and now it's done. Now you can see the results without the bad region. And this is essentially the end of the demo.